Mr. Dave, please walk us through, and Cap, bring me that hype. Let's go.
Don't worry, Dave. Now that we're in the actual game, Slacks won't interrupt you anymore, just like I just interrupted you. And I'm going to let you talk as much as you want. As much Mobile Legends knowledge as you want to give me, I'm here to learn.
Wow, I'm super excited for the first game of the North America M3 qualifier. This is actually really cool because we know that North America region did not participate in M2. Speaking of aggression, look at this early game.
Yeah, seriously, superior than anyone. Already had to use his flicker in order to get out of that nasty situation. Just kind of the wrong position there. Immediately got poked at by which one is the wolf? Is it Popo or Koopa?
Well, the wolf is the Koopa and Popo is the guy. Okay. So yeah, controlling the wolf. I just call it dog. Look, this is the invade we're talking about. Mathilda and Lilia coming in. They might seem to invade, but it seems like they just want to be a little bit annoying. But look at Toji on the Kagura though. Counter that aggression.
Yeah, this is the right place. Now just needs to. So what I've seen from a lot of mid laners, seems like the idea is you just want to shove out your lane as quick as possible and then have some impact elsewhere. Ooh, definitely Kings gets a little bit low there. Again, Chris just not letting this one low. Uranus tries to bring down Yuki. He does manage to stay out of there, but at the same time, he's getting Cal. They're on the side. They're like, no, we're not going to let this constant poke in our jungle go away for free. Unfortunately, Uranus is just a little bit too tough to deal with, and so they're going to have to back away. As they're just not stopping in this constant poke into the jungle, are they?
Yeah, Uranus actually stole the red. That's going to delay Yuki on the Lancelot. He's going to be extremely behind without red buff. You can see Roger is already level 4 on the levels where Yuki's going to take a while. He's only 3.5, not even. Even taking this little minions is not going to help him get level 4. And with the current Mobile Legend mechanics, if you don't take, if you take a Retribution, if you're a jungler, you go to lane, you don't take a lot of experience in gold. So it's going to take him a long time, probably another round of jungle clear in order just to get level 4. What a great steal from this Uranus right here. First turtle?
Yeah, when I was playing for, oh yeah, we got a big fight over turtle. We're gonna check that out as, oh, here comes Yuzhong with the dragon, like right on top of everybody. Roger's gonna be able to snipe away that turtle just in time as Execration going in. They're still chasing in. Gets hit by the trap. He goes to the wolf form, tries to bring down Yuki. Not quite good enough with all of those buffs they picked up from that turtle, as well as the buffs he got from all the creeps in the jungle. He was ready to go, but at least BOOMI do manage to get back. Oh, dive underneath the tower. Nice juke there. Managed to get out of there, and Uranus doesn't quite have the damage. Almost dies to the tower in his attempt at being able to bring down another.
I gotta say, I'm surprised that Team Extraction didn't invade a blue buff from Yuki. Knowing he was only level 3 and he was extremely low, he had to recall. In fact, the entire team of BOOMI over there was quite low thanks to the turtle fight that they had previously. So they could have taken advantage even more by simply invading that blue buff and take it away from Lancelot. Lancelot needs blue a lot. On the bottom lane, seems like we have another clash.
Yeah, they are just making sure they're not allowed to get back into lane because Roger is busy dealing with the tower. They've already gotten through the shield. They're just pushing back the rest of Fly High BOOMI. Definitely Kings. Here comes Yuki. Does manage to get some decent damage. Uranus staying in that front. Mikila almost dies, but does manage just get the blink away just in time. Of Popo and Koopa doing a little bit of return damage, but again, it just feels like the side of Extraction is just like completely owning this bottom lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at that speed and mobility from Roger. He's able to jump in with skill 1, dash out, doing shapeshift coming out into the human form and use a speed boost to get away. It's only 3 minutes, not even 4 minutes. We already got first tower taken down. And we know the tower in the first few minutes have a huge defense buff, especially when you have multiple members trying to take down the tower, you get more defense. And the fact that the entire team of Extraction able to take it down so fast already showed their dominance in this game against Fly High BOOMI. That's also why a lot of people are predicting that they are probably one of the more favorable team coming into this matchup, specifically against Fly High BOOMI. But I gotta say that the game is definitely not over yet. They got pretty strong lineup. They just have to give a pretty good set to Lancelot. But Lancelot without a snowball is gonna be quite hard.
Nice flicker away there. Uranus barely able to get away. He does want to stay away from that Esmeralda, though. The counter to the Uranus comes in once again. We didn't really talk about this in the draft, but isn't it kind of a problem they picked Uranus, this guy who picks up shields against Esmeralda, who naturally takes shields away from the enemy? Like, isn't that a bit of a counter?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, that's why I was surprised why they picked Uranus to begin with, because there are a lot of other heroes you can take out for damage. But before that, look at this red buff, though.
Trying to contest for the red buff. Jeez, they are just, Extraction's just not letting this one go. They're giving no room whatsoever for Fly High Bombi to be able to get this. The red buff does go down. I didn't actually see who grabbed it. It wasn't stolen away, was it? No, Yuki got it. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and definitely look at the mid lane. Team Extraction is pushing down the mid tier 1 tower. It's probably the most important turret in the game. The shield, we're over 5 minutes. The tower is already 1/5 HP down, so the next push was Roger. With that skill 2, you can instantly take down the turret. If they secure this tower, you literally open up the entire jungle for Fly High Bombi. And with that being said, with such a strong early game composition that has been snowballing since the beginning to now, I mean, you can see the gold, they're already 3,000, 3,200 gold ahead. So it's going to be scary and scary if Fly High Bombi actually lose the mid tier 1 tower. But before that top lane,
Zhang gets on top of them. Nicely done with the dragon. Just slowing them down enough for the rest of Extraction to be able to come in with the rotation. Kagura going for a bit of a poke, but they just cannot stop this aggression. It feels like Extraction just moving from side to side constantly as a 5-man crew. These team fights, they're just constantly forcing them on Fly High Bombi. How do you deal with that? When you're like behind and they're constantly 5-man like forcing team fights on you, what do you do if you're on the side of Fly High Bombi?
I mean, to be completely honest, not too much you can do, especially against a competition that's designed to snowball, and they're snowballing very well. Everybody's farming really, really well, and they're taking the objectives from kills. Like every single kill turning into a bigger objective on the map that turn into more invade, more resources taken from the enemy side. So with Fly High Bombi, their composition is actually not designed for late game. Yeah, they do have Esmeralda to kind of secure the late game, but again, one person not going to be enough to go against the entire composition, especially against Lilia. Lilia has been the OG counter for Esmeralda for a long time because of the zoning potential she has, the slow she has. So yeah, right now I'm actually kind of worried for Fly High Bombi at this point.
A little bit of poke there from our dog as Popo and Koopa trying to create some opening here for Toji to be able to get in there with that umbrella, but they haven't really been able to fight. I haven't even seen an ultimate coming out from her just yet, as no good opportunity for it, perhaps.
Yeah.
Jumping in. Oh,
I mean,
man. Choke. He's in pretty deep here. They're trying to punish, but he does manage to flicker back just in time. Uranus, in turn, soaks up some of that attention, stays on top. Yuzhong gets back behind the tier 2, and Dumpsters, too. With the help of Uranus, they managed to get the double kill, and look at that. A little bit of recall taunting just on your way out of diving in deep behind these turrets. Man, Extraction, they are just ruthless this game.
I know, and only about, I think, a minute and a half to Lord coming out. I wonder what the item is looking like for Team Extraction at this point, especially on Roger, because Roger is unstoppable at this point. Even though his score is only 0-0-2, but I want to see his individual gold. It can seem like he's farming the whole time. And also, you can see the team fight, like from a larger perspective, you can see a lot clearer that right now, Toji, just like you said, cannot find a lot of luck with this ultimate. You cannot use the ult really on the tank, on the front lines. So cannot use it on Mathilda, cannot use it on the side lane. We talk about how for Extraction, their side lanes are extremely tanky. You got Uranus, you got Yuzhong, like it's just really, really hard for you to decide, oh, let me just go ahead and use my ult on those. But if you do, what about Lilia? What about the backline? What about Roger? Like, he had to worry about so many things. So I understand that the pick, why they picked this hero, but it's just not working out for them in this game.
Boogeyman surrounded a little bit. Does have all those shields, though, to be able to stay pretty healthy here. And takes a little bit here from the Uranus. Toji maybe finding an opportunity here, perhaps, with a yin-yang. But not quite. It's just, as you said, don't want to go on the tanks on the front line. Got to be able to get to that backline somehow. But Boogeyman, he's trying to create these opportunities, trying to be in the face of Extraction somewhat. Choke. He's just not letting that one go. Recall spamming over and over again, as they know they're feeling really good about this game. Up almost 6,000 net worth right now. Yuki, in a little bit deep, both does have that untargetable to be able to jump back, no problem. Definitely Kings, though, maybe not so quite so lucky into the tier 3 Uranus. Not stoppable, man. He just keeps on going through these turrets. I feel like they're worried more about these hero kills than they are the objectives at this point, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, Lord is already up. They have the capability, they have the build, they have the items to actually take on the Lord. But so far, they're playing with their KDA. You know, they just want to take a little bit of tap, a little bit of disrespect coming out. Ooh. Lance rock damage almost, though.
Yeah, Fly High Bombi almost managed to get a chance there. Yuzhong getting in there with the dragon. Can easily, or at least should be able to get out. Get stalled up a little bit underneath that tier 2, but oh, always scary. Trying to bring him down, that sustain that he's naturally got. It's just, you see him a little bit low, and then you try and go for that kill. I know I've encountered that multiple times now. I see Yuzhong low, and I'm like, oh, I can finish him. And then just somehow his lifesteal just proves to be too much. Oh, Boogeyman, 1 against 4 right now. The shields are gonna run out on that Esmeralda, especially when the Roger's in town. And now, with the numbers advantage, they're just gonna keep pushing it here. 6-1, and maybe Makia's gonna be caught as he's trying to dash himself out of there. Does manage to get over the wall, but Roger is chasing through this. Does manage to use his ultimate for a little bit more mobility, but it's not enough to get to the safety of the tier 3s. And again, Extraction not going for the objectives. As you said, they get the Lord at any time they want to, but it almost feels like they're trying to deal some psychological damage in this best of 3 series, Dave.
Yeah, they're looking to win the game right now. And you don't probably gonna fly away with that snake looking ultimate. He has the collector skin. I gotta say the skin looks pretty sick. Now, they could take the Lord. At this point of the time, I think that they're purposely not taking the Lord anymore. You see Roger, we're talking about how if they open up mid-tier 1 tower, you open up the entire map, and that's exactly what Roger been doing. He's been invading the jungle. Lancelot has not been farming at all. Like, I would even bet if we see the items, Lancelot probably have one of the least farm for the entire side of Fly High Balmy because the jungle Rashbini had. Now, before that, another kill onto this Popo. Just show you the power of Roger there.
Better than anyone. They're trying to deal with 2 versus 3 right now, and Boogeyman, he keeps on taking away some of those shields. He does manage to just flicker himself out there. He really pushed that to the limits there before they finally jumped out. Fortunately, he's got plenty of sustain to keep himself back into it, and they just drew some attention. The rest of their team, I think, just cleared out the entire jungle. So, again, just building on more and more of a net worth lead now.
Yeah. Look at Uranus sustain. If you saw he was 2 versus 3 and was 1 HP, he's back to full HP right now. Like, this is how tanky this hero is. It's so tanky in that regeneration and all the stats he has. It's almost unkillable. And only 6 seconds to the enhanced Lord. I think this is the time where Extraction take a more conservative approach, more like safe route, and take the enhanced Lord right now. 12 minutes is when Lord enhanced. If you take that Lord, it's going to push with you, and you have a charge skill that's actually going to take down about 60% of the tower health for 1 abilities. So this is the time. You can see Roger is already on the Lord through the minimap. But look at Uranus 1 versus 4.
Those Radiance Armor stacks are just allowing him to just constantly regen up. They've taken the Lord while he's in their base. 1 versus 4. Now the rest of the team is here with the Lord buff, and now they're looking to just end the game, Dave. They're done with this, done with playing around. They're going to choke them out inside of their own base, and that was some hefty damage, but still, Boogeyman, only so much you could do here. Trying to get back to the fountain. Does manage to get back to safety, and maybe this is going to be stalled long enough for the Lord to actually show his presence here in the game. Choke. Daring them to leave their crystal, but they will not. They're just going to wait for the Lord to show up and see if they can hold out one final time. They still have Makia down for a little bit, so it's going to be a 4 versus 5 to finish things off. So we're going to check out that last little replay of the Uranus just going ham, and that's pretty much going to be the name of the game, as they're going to be able to finish off the crystal. This time around, it seems, Dave, Extraction went for the objective, ended the game instead of focusing on that KDA.
Yeah, they're really smart to focus on the objective at 12 minutes, focus on Lord, and use that Lord to win the game in 1 push. So really clean game from Extraction.
Yeah, nicely done.
Look at that bad boy right there. 13 minutes. Hello, Camp. Hello, Dave. Goodness gracious. Yeah. Even the Lord himself came to go and shut that thing down. Woo, that was a beatdown. 11-1. Is this normal, Dave? Is this what we should be seeing here today?
Well, I mean, we talk about both team has a chance to win. They're both really good ranked teams. So coming to this tournament, you can see the performance from the entire Extraction. They're ready. They're ready to go to the semifinals. They're ready to get a clean sweep. So Fly High Balmy, they're really got to think about the Lancelot pick the next game, you know? Just like Mr. Generate your shield back. Or you can just keep on spraying, because once you lost your shield, your fire range got extended. So you can actually throw fire to much bigger range of enemies and collect more fragments to get your shield back. And we see Ling being banned again. This is the second game now in a row that we see Ling, Lunox, and Export being banned. Some meta heroes, you just kind of have to ban it. I like this Mathelda ban though, because it's such a strong hero. You do not want to give to enemy. We saw how strong she is in the early game, invading into Fly High Balmy's jungle. So this game, they banned it away. They probably want to pick something else just to make sure that for Fly High Balmy, they don't get a second powerful pick on their side.
Yeah, Cap, your comments about Exborg there really translates to me to my real life. Sometimes, you know, as a male, I feel like my armor is ripped off, and the only way to really bring it back is to go outside and burn something. So it makes a lot of sense. Just like in real life, you got to build up that male armor once more time. And there we go. Esmeralda picked up yet again. Questionable.
Well, this time around, we're going to see
it.
if Barrett's instead of the Uranus, unless they're actually going to pick both. But I was curious if we were going to see that matchup again, because I was like, you know, Esmeralda, big counter. Like, that's what I read. I was like, big counter to Uranus. I was like, okay, I'll keep that in mind. And then it just didn't play out that way at all.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Esmeralda is still a really strong side laner. Like, she is actually one of the strongest, especially skills of late game. That shield absorption, once she gets to that farm, she can constantly get the shields and constantly sustain the team fight. Similar to Luna, like, Luna actually counter Esmeralda. That's why Luna has to be banned. But if you look at, for Team Fly High BOOMI, they're picking the Stone Age combo, right? The Barats and Popo and Koopa, the dinosaur guy. I mean, the dinosaur can actually become bigger and bigger as you go. So that's the funniest mechanics in Mobile Legends. I love that. It's just so fun to play. And I've got Alice taken out.
We need to go back to privacy. Back to monkey it is.
Return to monk right here, my friends. But good to see Alice picked up. I thought this hero would get banned out almost every game. I mean, she just seems so good in almost every role. As we talked about, some of those ones can just go from here to there. And woo! Look at the damage coming out from these boys. Uncle Dave, I'm terrified already. They don't even need to pick any more heroes. Those three already are scary enough.
Yeah. This time though, their silent are kind of weak. Alice and Esmeralda are both big late game characters. They have to develop. They have to have like early game help and support from the team. So this game specifically, we already have Roger being banned away. I'm excited to find out what Extraction gonna pick out of their jungle choices. What they need to do is actually have something like stronger early game. If they continue to go with a late game route, that's actually gonna put them behind in a lot of ways. Because like if you look at the side lane, it's already weak. You get a jungle that's even weaker. That's gonna push you behind at the turtle fight. The first turtle fight, we know that can extend to a snowball and then probably make you lose a tier 1 tower, and the snowball just begins from that point on. We got Grandeur being taken out though by Team Fly High BOOMI.
Sorry, I got very scared every single time I see that crow Raven lady. Every single time I give up. Every time. Banner. I'm just an official response for me is pure terror. So Cap, please continue. I can't even put words together there.
Well, I wanted to tell you, I know Granger just got picked up, but every single time, I can't lose this out of my head. Every single time I see Barrett's, you know what I think of, Slacks? I think of his ultimate, right? And I think of that, you know, like he takes them into his mouth. You know what I think of? I think of Big Yoshi. That's what I think of.
Big Yoshi. Big Yoshi, my friends. That fat Yoshi. That's right here today. Absolutely correct there, Cap. But yeah, this is pretty interesting stuff here. Nice last ban. That is Natan, if I am correct there. Natan. That makes a lot more sense than Natan. Thank you. Continue. Why ban that one out? What makes it so strong?
It's actually a very viable jungle choices. We talk about you have to pick some like stronger early. And Natan, I think it's different pronunciations. You can go with either way. Natan is, I think, a more popular way to call it actually, and sexier to call it Natan. I mean, I actually prefer to call it Natan, to be honest, now we mention it. So, but yeah, this hero can do so much damage early game with that burst damage combo that he has. So it's understandably banned. And we got Kufra being banned away again 2 games in a row now. Ooh, Chang'e and Farsa being the bans from Team Extraction right here. They're really banning out the mages. Make sure they don't have any more poke. You already have Granger, who's really good at poking. So I understand this bans make a lot of sense coming from Extraction to banning away more poke potential.
Now, what is it that makes Granger so strong? Because I've seen a lot of people like hype up Granger quite a bit. And is it the fact that like he's got that mobility while applying damage, or is it just strictly just like the raw damage that he's able to put out?
He has both. Like when he uses skill 1, it's a pop, 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 pop. bah, the last pa is like a super bullet that crits and it does insane amount of damage. Yeah. And then also when he has a skill too that allows him to dash around the battlefield to reposition himself to continue to dish out a bullet damage. And his ultimate, when he uses the sniper rifle to do the 3 big damage, every time he uses the ultimate, he can dash 1 more time. So it's actually really hard for assassin characters to catch up to him to actually kill him. So with all the insane damage that's already packed into this hero, you also got a lot of mobility. So if you build a little bit more tanky item, like Brute Force Breastplate is a very popular item on this character. It's cheap and it gives you a lot of stats. And once you get this tanky stats with the mobility, with the damage, it just makes him tier S in like every aspect.
Speaking of mobility and damage, though, our favorite ninja there, Hayabusa. Go ahead, Cap. What were you gonna say, buddy?
I mean, that's it. I'm already excited. Extraction.
Go ahead.
My favorite. I love it. Any roamers that are able to just run around and have big impacts, and I have to say, like, it feels like I was looking through the tier list and I was like, Jawhead S tier, and I'm like, yeah, of course he's S tier. Like, he's like the best repositioning of any of the roamers, right? Like that. I feel like that fling is just insane.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jawhead with EXTRATION combo. Again, Extraction is playing it really smart. Like in the beginning of this match, we talk about how they already have Esmeralda, Alice, some really strong late game side laners, and they need to pick early game, and that's exactly what they executed on. They have Jawhead, they have EXTRATION. Again, 2 very, very powerful early game, including Lilia. So I think their comp, I like it. I think it's really balanced. It has late game, it has early game. It covers all edges. It's really, really good. On the side of Fly High BOOMI, though, we do finish off with a Kaja pick. It's a really nice pick, especially against Esmeralda and Alice, because they can be strong, they can be powerful, but if you use the suppression ultimate to lock you down where you cannot do anything but getting beaten up, it's still really, really good. But overall, I see more synergy coming from Team Extraction's picks. So this game, I would say I prefer their draft over the other, though.
Don't disagree with you, my man. I mean, that is just, anytime you see a Jawhead just sprinting at anybody, I feel bad for our return to monks over here. They're living in the Stone Age. They got a goddamn robot with missiles and stuff coming at them. Does FHB have any chance here, Cap?
I think so. Anyway, like I know that I felt whenever I was dealing with any sort of like percentage-based damage, like poke, like that, like Kaja is able to put out, right? Like he's able to do that percentage-based damage. I didn't feel very good as like those 5-position roamers like sitting on the front line. So I mean, I think they have a chance, but like given game 1, maybe not much of a chance at all, considering how they just got slaughtered.
All right, well, let's get into game 2, gentlemen. She's all yours.
Woo! This time our blue side was Extraction, and the rest side have Fly High BOOMI. The side is being swapped. Gold lane's the bottom lane, Experience is the top lane. You can see from the minimap right here. This time, actually, quite obviously. Look at Lilia's wave clear in the mid lane, though. This is what I mean regarding her early game power.
Oh, yeah. She's able to just already push the lane in, then she's got the freedom to be able to maybe go help a jungler, rotate to a side lane, and you can see they're already potentially making a move off of this one. They want to be able to secure that mana regen. Toji tries to come in and snipe it real quick, but doesn't look like he was able to do so. And they're going to back away. Alice even coming in for a bit of a poke, but backs up to her jungle as well.
Yeah. I mean, Hayabusa has actually played as a mid lane. We talk about how mid lane can be assassin, can sometimes even be tanks, you know, be another support hero. We see Steve's being mid, we see Rafaela being mid. There are a bunch of other metas or strategies being explored in Mobile Legends right now. And look at the topside one-on-one duo. Like, this Esmeralda, just weaker than anyone. I don't think he's weaker than this Barats for sure. Like, he seems pretty strong.
Yeah, at the same time, like this Barats wants to stay and continue building up that dinosaur that he's got, right? Like every single hit, you're getting bigger and bigger. So he doesn't really necessarily want to back down. He's going to take that opportunity to continue to grow. But as you said, Esmeralda, like, she doesn't take shit from anybody.
Yeah. How do you expect Barats to grow if you constantly poke him, hurt him like that? You got to take it nicely. Oh, look at the mid lane, though. A little team fight here.
Might be able to just get out Esmeralda with the last bit of shields is going to be okay. That first kind of like gank attempt from Fly High BOOMI wasn't quite good enough to be. If they had secured that kill, right, then maybe they would have a turtle opening here. But as it stands, choke. He's sitting on the front lines, ready to go with that Jawhead, ready to toss somebody away and make sure that Shin is able to secure not only the first blood, but also the turtle. Now they're maybe going to go for a bit of a dive here at this top lane, surrounding this turret, trying to poke at both definitely Kings as well as Boogeyman. Toss it back into the rest of the team, and that's a Jawhead play you want to see right there. Managed to flicker in, push them back. Nicely played there. Was that a flicker, or did he use his ult? No, he's not even level 4 yet, so that, he had to flicker in there, right?
Yeah, he flickered in, threw him back. Very decisive play from Choke. This player is definitely someone you gotta watch out for in this game. He's made quite a bit of plays, throwing the Granger for the turtle secure and throwing the Popo and Koopa from under the tower. Bottom lane though, it seemed like a slipper of health, but better than anyone. It's gonna be better this time and get himself away. Look at Lilia though. Lilia?
Ooh, damage is too much. Does manage to bring down, and Toji ends up falling here enough to be able to create a little space. Alice backs up. This is a little bit concerning, right? Because it feels like Extraction's already securing their dominance, and you talked about the fact that both Esmeralda and Alice need that time to be able to build up, right? They need to be able to get the items so they can just sit in the middle of the team fight, dishing out their damage. Esmeralda with her constant shield, Blood Ode on the side of Alice, right? They need that time, and oh, finally, we managed to get Fly High BOOMI to be able to strike back with that Alpha Wolf form. Popo and Koopa, we are angry right now, Dave. They're angry at that last stomp, and they're going to make sure game 2 doesn't go quite the same way, but they're still down quite a bit. They're going to need a couple more kills if they want to be able to offset what is already 2,500 net worth lead. It's getting a little rough.
Yeah, like absolutely. This is already a like very steep slope, I would say, at this point for the side of Fly High BOOMI. Like the mid lane they have is just not strong enough. Hayabusa is really weak early game. He doesn't do enough damage, especially in a 5-man setting where everybody can be grouped up. But you're not gonna pick up individual players on their own. Look at Shin just dishing out the ultimate. You know exactly where they are. Jawhead.
Gonna be able to scout out everybody. That's the value of that ultimate from Shin. Just being able to pink everybody around, and then Jawhead's able to go in and just find whoever they can to be able to get the pick off. Alice sitting in the middle here, gonna rapidly push out the lane, but Kia does not stick around. Well, you gotta get out of there, but Alice able to help put her down, and now they're gonna poke at the turret, but we still got the shields up, right? So it doesn't really feel like it's worth sticking around for.
Yeah, I think this is just already looking at the game that Extraction just gonna walk away, run away with. It does seem like Fly High BOOMI is in control at any point of the game. It's just the top side. It's gonna be another slaughter. You can see the Popo and Koopa nowhere to run this time. Easy kill. Oh, nice ult though from Boogeyman.
Yeah, managed to grab him with the big guy and pull him into the tier 2. And this early on, that tier 2 is going to be a bit too much. Toji is going to wrap in here. Esmeralda is sticking on, even with the double buffs here on the side of Kaz. He is actually able to finish him off. Hayabusa finally able to enter in the game and have some impact. Dave, you were talking about, like, why did they choose to go for this Hayabusa mid lane as opposed to gold lane or jungle? Like, it feels like slightly unorthodox, right?
Yeah, but Hayabusa late game is really powerful though. Like if you get the skilling going on and Hayabusa goes in with a poke onto Lilia, because Lilia's ultimate allows her to reset to a few seconds earlier, so she can basically reset at full HP. But Hayabusa can go in, force Lilia to ult, especially late game when Hayabusa finish Endless Battle, finish some core item like Blade of Despairs. You can go in one auto attack, one skill that might just kill the Lilia. And speaking of that, Kaja actually got a kill. I was about to mention on the bottom lane, Kaja though, at this point, Jawhead.
Oh man, the Jawhead gets a little bit too close, and Nobody-chan, he's got to back up. He's got both of those buffs, needs to be able to hold on to it. Throws out a shot there, and will defend his turret as best as possible. But yeah, keep going with what you're saying.
Yeah, I was just saying that Kaja was not having the best game of his life. Oh, top lane, the Eid in the stomach, and Esmeralda.
That was beautiful. Just push him in, and Hayabusa comes in, clean up with all that damage he's able to put out. That net worth lead, I mean, it's beginning to drop a little bit. It feels like Fly High BOOMI, they've woken up a little bit in this game too. And this Hayabusa, like, as you said, like may have had a little bit of rough laning phase, didn't feel good about the fact he couldn't shove the lane right back in. But now feels like they're getting into their stride a little bit. If they can actually secure this turtle, then maybe they can actually be the aggressors for once and rather just responding to all this aggression. They do have the suppression put onto Choke, not letting him get much of a shield off, but into the middle, better than anyone. He just goes in. Lily is able to push him back out a little bit, but it's not quite good enough. Man, Boogeyman, he's coming for you. He's got the big guy. He throws out the last bit of fire shot, but it's not quite good enough. He knew he was dead. He tries to go for the kill onto Superior than anyone, but it's not quite enough ultimately. I didn't even see where the turtle went to in that fight, but either way, it's going to be blue side Extraction doing a good job winning that fight.
Yo, I gotta say, I mean, it seemed like Fly High BOOMI had that team fight to begin with. It was good initiation. They got 2 kills right off the bat. And what happened is Boogeyman played a little bit too aggressive. Like you can see their entire team, they have few people chasing the Granger in the back. Boogeyman could have just come back to the Granger, but instead he kept on chasing. And now really giving Extraction the opportunity to come back and secure the bottom tier 1 tower, secure the kill on Kaja again. Again, Kaja's not having the best luck. Look at Jawhead's position.
He's able, oh, they're able to chase after, no problem. The Alpha Wolf stays on top of him. They do manage to get that kill, but sweeping in. Extraction, Yisun Shin able to pick up the double there. They're going to be able to get the triple on top of the Serpent and probably taking this mid tower. Boogeyman, I don't think you're going to be able to do much. Both neither you nor your big guy. He tries to maybe pull them back into the tower with that rockets, but ultimately he's going to have to say goodbye to that mid tower and goodbye to the map controls it offers. Whoa, they actually did manage to get a pull in there as we're checking out this replay.
Yeah.
This sick entry.
Yeah, Kaja was a beautiful. Now he's playing more decisive, I would say. In the early game, the biggest problem I see from Makuya on the Kaja was lack of decisiveness. Like when you play Kaja, it's kind of like driving or crossing the street. You either go or you don't go. You cannot stop in the middle of the street. So, because Kaja's ultimate is really short pull range. So if you decide, okay, this is my target, you lock on the hero, you flicker in and you grab that target and pull it to your team. But you cannot go in kind of like you know, half-assed, right? Like you have to, oh, let me think about this. You cannot do that in the middle of the team fight. So now we see him play more decisive with the flicker ultimate, and sure enough, it's paying out for him. This hero was really strong, as I mentioned, in the ban draft. If Kaja is a really good counter against Alice, really good counter against Esmeralda, and if Kaja is able to pick up the anti-heal, if you can take a look at the items, if he has the anti-heal against Esmeralda, against Alice, it's going to be extremely good for the side of Fly High BOOMI.
Yeah, they naturally want to play forward, right? The Esmeralda, the Alice's, right? But they want to be able to get off their abilities and do a bunch of AoE damage. You're saying if you just like, she plays a little far forward, you grab one of those, you pull them back to the rest of the team, they're suppressed, they can't do anything, and you're just able to like focus her down before anything happens, right? Oh, landing into the trap, but fortunately, we're able to get that backtrack, no problem, and that's the power. Oh, Jesus, he throws out his ult, he sees everybody, able to deliver some damage pretty nicely, keeps his distance, but at the same time, it feels like Fly High BOOMI isn't like, oh geez, what is this chase going up all the way up the top? Esmeralda doing what she can, but they're done with this Esmeralda. They're gonna make sure that they bring her down with all 4. Hayabusa able to claim the last hit, and then they're gonna sweep back in. Barats, he was getting poked a little bit here, and then they're gonna make sure they get the revenge for that one. Trying to keep their distance. Hayabusa jumps to a shade and then jumps back to the one that's a little bit closer to his team. Just kind of daring Extraction to see if they want to go for another team fight. Not the case.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of right now kind of chaotic. Extraction for the entire team, they gotta take a deep breath and rethink about their strategies. It's kind of going all over the place. So you see people engaging on the top side and 3 people are pushing mid. When you're trying to split push, your entire team, you focus on one objective. You kind of have Esmeralda playing so cocky in the front, and your entire team is spread out on the other side of the map. This is not going to happen at this point of the game, because if you look at the total gold, and the players can see them pretty well. They're only about 4,000 gold ahead. This is 10 minutes into the game. That's not extremely high. One team fight can turn that all around, especially when you get a Lord. One Lord is usually equivalent. If an enemy team defend well, even if it didn't defend well, it's equivalent of at least 2,000 to 3,000 gold advantage. Oh, speaking of that, bottom lane, Boogeyman was another ultimate.
Yep, they gotta watch out for these repositioning skills, as Alice is just able to get away. Barth was almost able to finish up with the help of the Hayabusa, but not quite enough. I'm having quite a ball here with this 5-on-5 matchup. The 2 roamers. You got Popo and oh, there it is. The suppression. Kaja finds the opening. Jawhead thinks he's just gonna go ahead and face tank that push, and boom, instantly gets suppressed, and just nothing he could do. Oh, but he got a little bit too far forward there. But yeah, he thought they had the numbers advantage. And no, they don't actually use that pickoff. Esmeralda is able to get instantly on top. Toja in the back line, though. They do manage to get him. And
Alice.
now just complete surrounding. Alice going in, Dave.
Esmeralda. So Alice is going to be eaten up by Boogeyman one more time. Thrown to the wall. But it might not be enough because Boogeyman is so tanky. Look at this gigantic dinosaur. I mean, that's why you pick him all the way from the Stone Age, because this guy is just so strong throughout this entire history of human race or Earth of the planet. Look at Granger, though. Might got taken out. Boogeyman does survive in the end. Very, very interesting play. I guess both sides are kind of making those mistakes. Boogeyman one more time, going in too deep. There's no reason for you to fight over there. Even you kind of already won that team fight. You had the advantage. You come back, you can see the goal difference is already shrinking. But Boogeyman, there's just no reason for him to re-engage and to get on that person. There's not enough damage. Have Granger alone. 2 versus 3 at this point is not going to pan out.
Yeah, and we don't have time for replays because this Alice is going insane right now. They could just keep on finding Fly High BOOMI as they keep on facing in these bushes and boom. And Alice is right there. Choke again, going for the recall spam as they're going to start assaulting the tier 3s.
Yeah, oh, look at the damage y'all had.
Tried to go for the toss back, but he got baited in.
A little bit too aggressive on the engage right here. EXTRATION just quietly. This is almost like reminiscent of last game, right? Is this like deja vu a little bit? You have nobody working on the Lord, working on the objectives, and the entire team doing their own thing, zoning the whole enemy team on the other side of the map. This is also almost exactly the same. You have one person, they're waiting for the 12 minutes Lord. They want to make sure they get enhanced Lord so they can push on one win right here. So right now we might see the power up spike is already coming up, but both sideliners, so main should just lake him. Esmeralda.
Taja able to get the flash in and grab him right before this Lord push was coming in as well. So now they can go ahead and turn around, see if they can clear this out before it actually gets to their tier 3. You can see the Granger dealing his damage as he backs away. But meanwhile, the assault was also coming into the mid lane at the same time. Looks like Extraction going for a bit of a split push here. And Alice, she's in pretty deep right now. The Wolf does manage to slow her down with that alpha form, but the Jawhead is able to create some space. He jumps in. I'm not sure if he threw anybody back, but he at least created space for Alice to be able to retreat.
Yeah, and then a second Hackron Tower. The bottom lane Hackron Tower has been taken down. You can look at the total goal differences right now. If you can see the chart, we're coming to a 6,000 goal lead from that one Lord push. Again, it's not, I wouldn't say a super successful push. The team kind of split up. Esmeralda can get picked out when you have Lord push. The last thing you want to get the members picked out. But they're still able to secure another 3,000 to 4,000 goal lead just because the one Lord, the amount of a lane pressure, map pressure Lord provides, because it enhances all the minions, is super, it's just insane. So at this point for FHP, for the Fly High BOOMI team to come back, it's really at the grace of Extraction, to be honest. Like, are they gonna make a mistake to give Kaja one of those really, really good pulls? If that doesn't happen, I highly doubt that they have the chance to come back. Look at this EXTRATION one more time, 8, 1, and 7. And most likely securing an MVP one more time in this game. Dishing out so much damage. The position on him is really, really good. They push a lot of towers. So I don't know what Fly High BOOMI can do in this game. What do you think, Cap?
I mean, he's getting close to godlike, and I was going to say they need to get on top of this EXTRATION, but the problem is now he's even got the immortality, so it's not even going to feel that good if they do manage to get a successful jump onto him, as he's got that ready to go. And now potentially a final push coming out from Extraction, looking for the 2-0 here, if possible. Fly High BOOMI. Well, fortunately, well, one upside is, you know, there's this saying in Chinese Dota, it's like once there's only one lane left, that's the easiest part of the game, right? Because you don't have to worry about the other lanes. At this point in time, that's pretty much it for Fly High BOOMI. They could just sit 5-man in mid and wait for the creeps to push in because they don't really have any other options.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at this point, you're absolutely right. It's actually easier for them to defend because there's only one tower, but the tower is also very, very low on HP. Like, literally, if you just... Oh, look at it pull!
Yeah, he just goes in there, and the Hayabusa got a decent ultimate hit, but ultimately, it's... choke. Just keeps on, you know, like he's face taking him. So maybe it's like a conscious suppression or something that comes out, but he's like, okay, that's not the team fight. That's not the right one for us. We'll go ahead and find another one. It's kind of like that sacrificial role, right, Dave? Where you just kind of like sit in front and a bad team fight happens. You're the first one to die. The rest of your team backs out. You don't throw away your lead. Yeah.
So again, like that's why I said I think Extraction needs to take a deep breath. really regroup, because right now all they need to do to win this game is really freeze the lane, manage the lane, continue to push. Right now it's just gonna shrink their lead. We can see a roller coaster ride on the go chart. It's back and forth. They constantly give the enemy team the advantage. Alice, a little bit too ambitious here.
Alice caught alone, almost managed to get the kill onto Mikia in return, but the Conjurer manages to stay alive. You can see they actually had the rotation coming in, but the traps coming out. They're, yeah, big top lane push. Esmeralda and Yisun Shin able to bring down the Barretts. He was building up that big guy, but looks like he was not tanky enough, it seems. 23-18. This time around, High BOOMI are definitely putting a good fight back, but they are still clearly behind. And if they cannot deal, what do you do with this Lord push? Do you contest it or do you accept it?
They have to. I mean, they took down Alice already. This is the chance they have to fight this. If this is a High BOOMI's last chance to make a stand in this particular game. If they don't fight it right now, there's no better chance. Alice being the late game character, being well developed at this point. Jawhead going in though, a good engagement. He got pulled.
He did get pulled and gonna lose his immortality. At least the Kaja hoping to be able to keep his immortality intact, and he does. They're gonna get back, heal up, but Dave, it's looking like they're gonna lose the Lord in the process. You said they needed to be able to contest this, especially since it was an opportunity for a 4 versus 5. But again, it just like that they keep on accepting the choke is like in their face, and they get that kill. But Yisun Shin, you know, he's throwing out the damage constantly from behind. Like I saw at least one really long range arrow that landed that did a good amount. Like I feel like they gotta be a little sneaky, you know, and get around.
Yeah. Like I also just lack of coordination. I go back to the same reference I had. I feel like they're crossing the street, like just looking at the lights, not sure where to go. Do I turn left? Do I turn right? It felt like that's exactly what they need to do. At that point, you know the only way for them to come back in this game is to get that Lord. That's the only win condition at this point in the game. Was a mid tower with Slipper of Health that's going to go down in just a few seconds. They have to contest that with Alice being down. They used the Kaja to take him down, but unfortunately they didn't take advantage of it. And now this might be the game.
Yep, Lord, he coming. And Kaja, well, he's already out. He's not going to be here. Well, the immortality, actually, he'll have an opportunity to perhaps be able to get away. But he does get the heal. Unfortunately, they're already going to be... Actually, they're staying alive pretty decently. Popo and Koopa does manage to reset. Barretts, he's doing okay. A little bit slivered. It looks like they're getting baited into the crystal. And looks like Yisun Shin is able to deal with some good damage. But everybody else is dead. Can they finish him off? Barretts, you need to help out your boy. But at the same time, the crystal's under a threat. Yisun Shin is going to finish it off all by himself. This time around, maybe he does deserve the MVP full out. A good way to be able to end the game with that Lord push. But Fly High BOOMI, talked about it, a better fight in this game too, and it goes down to the wire with that crystal push.
Oh. Wow, what a play. A Maniac, what a great way to this battle. You got DHS. God, this guy's fully decked out in the end. I thought they didn't get it. I thought FHB get a really good defense, but this one-man army from nobody just demolished the entire enemy team and ended the game, ended the series.
Yeah, Dave, it felt like in game 1, he almost wasn't really needed. The fact that, you know, he was just able to free farm. His team was basically won the game without him. He was just there, the anchor to lock down the game if needed. It wasn't needed in game 1, but game 2, rather.